Manchester United's problems were exposed again vs West Ham, from the full-time chaos to Ruben Amorim's furious rant. We break down the player ratings, the mistakes, and the latest transfer bombshells, including a $200K a week target. Before we start, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a Man U update. Full-time reaction on and off the pitch vs West Ham sums up Manchester United mistakes. Man U wasted a golden opportunity to go fifth in the Premier League by conceding a late equalizer to West Ham at Old Trafford. If anything sums up Manchester United's inability to plot a smooth course under Ruben Amorim, it is the manner of the goal that denied them a crucial win against West Ham. A day on from talking up their ability from set pieces, United were undone by one. The equalizer from an 83rd minute corner was a reminder that vulnerabilities remain, and for all the improvement in the other box, they're still weak in their own. It was a painful blow for a side who looked on course to stick themselves into the Champions League conversation. There was no anger at the final whistle this time, as there had been against Everton. Instead, it was a resigned silence. None of the players on the pitch slumped to their knees, but they put their hands on their hips and stared at the ground. This wasn't the performance of a team destined for the big time in Europe, but a win had them heading in that direction. Now they will look on and curse another result that got away, another goal conceded from a corner, and another second half they have failed to win. Christmas has been the most miserable time of the year for United in recent seasons. They had lost 9 of their last 14 Premier League fixtures in December, and it was this time a year ago that the wheels began to come off for Amorim. This was the one-year anniversary of his first defeat as head coach, and they have been regular occurrences since then, 22 all told, including penalty shootouts to Fulham and Grimsby. That this didn't end in another defeat was little consolation for a crestfallen Amorim. There has been the whiff of progress recently, but this team's ability to shoot themselves in the foot and just about every other part of the body is crushingly frustrating. To sandwich a win at Crystal Palace with a dismal defeat to 10-man Everton and a draw with a dire West Ham, both at Old Trafford, only reinforces the sense that it is one step forward and one backwards. The fixture list for this month should really have come gift-wrapped, but there will be no early festive cheer at Carrington this weekend. United could have gone 5th with a win, but instead find themselves 8th and in a congested middle in the Premier League table. United were again slow to get going, showing a lack of intensity in the early stages that is baffling, given their reduced schedule this season. Once again, they allowed a team to get a foothold in a game at Old Trafford. Aidan Heaven's early woes didn't help. The 19-year-old was starting his first Premier League game of the season and was in the middle of a back three, but his inexperience was preyed on by grizzled veteran Callum Wilson. It didn't take long for Wilson to realize he had the upper hand. It was Bryan Mbeumo who began to rouse United into life. His short corner routine with Bruno Fernandes led to a curling shot that forced Alfonso Areola into a fine save. Joshua Zirkzee bundled an effort goalwards that was cleared off the line, and Fernandes volleyed a follow-up just off target. Set pieces have often been the route to goal this season, but with Matthias de Ligt joining Harry Maguire and Benjamin Sesko on the sidelines, there was a lack of height against a team who had plenty of it. That was putting the onus on United to find their ruthless streak as well as their creative streak. They had moments of the latter. Ahmad's quick feet created Zirkzee's first half chance, and he often looked the most likely to make something happen. Zirkzee's first-time pass into Bryan Mbeumo early in the second half deserved a finish. Instead, Mbeumo was beaten to the ball by Freddie Potts, and that seemed to sum up United in front of the goal. Zirkzee's link-up play was good, Matheus Cunha was probing, Mbeumo was lively, and Ahmad was direct, but none of them have the killer touch in front of the goal. So it was no surprise that the game was unlocked via a slice of good fortune. Casemiro's long-range shot wasn't going to trouble West Ham, but the deflection spun into the path of Diallo, unmarked and 10 yards out. He had enough space to take a touch and fire a low finish into the Stretford end net. United looked to hold what they have, and Amorim's defensive subs reflected the nervousness, but having talked up their set-piece ability, they were undone by one. Amorim admitted that they still had work to do defensively, and West Ham found it too easy to level. Jared Bowen's flick-on was brilliantly cleared by Nasser Mazraoui, but Sangutu Magasa slammed in the rebound. It was from 2 corners that Arsenal condemned Amorim to his first defeat a year ago that another corner proved their Achilles heel against the Hammers, summed up a team that just can't kick on.
Manchester United player ratings versus West Ham with a 4/10, but Ahmad and Joshua Zirkzee good. Man U drew 1-1 with West Ham in the Premier League after letting a lead slip at Old Trafford. Manchester United saw the chance to go 5th in the Premier League slip through their fingers as they threw away a lead against West Ham at Old Trafford. Diogo Dalot's goal just before the hour mark looked like landing Ruben Amorim back-to-back wins in the Premier League, but momentum was again checked. West Ham had posed little threat following a bright opening, but found an equalizer from a corner when Sangatuma Gasa slammed home after Nusar Mazraoui had cleared off the line. Here are the United player ratings from Old Trafford. Sensheni Laman's one wayward kick in the first half, but was solid aside from that. Didn't have a lot to do, but safe hands when Bowen's shot was deflected his way. Nothing he could do to prevent the goal. 6. Nusar Mazraoui, solid on his return to the team, a vital late block and a goal line clearance that deserved more than the rebound going in. 6. Aiden Heaven, first Premier League start of the season, but he had a half to forget. Callum Wilson played on his lack of experience, he got too tight at times, and was booked for a rash tackle on Jared Bowen. 4. Luke Shaw defended well for the most part and saw plenty of the ball in the second half when United were probing for an opening, but a lack of height at the back was exposed. 6. Ahmad created a chance for Joshua Zirkzee with quick feet and looked like making things happen again. Needs to get the ball high up the pitch to really influence the game. 7. Casemiro wasn't great on the ball and didn't bring the composure United needed in their game. Got an assist, but more through luck than judgment. 6. Bruno Fernandes. His range of passing in the first half was good, but snatched at 2 injury time chances to win the game. 6. Diogo Dalot struggled against Aaron Wan-Bissaka at times in the first half, but showed superb composure to take his goal well. 7. Brian Mbeumo, probably the most likely of the front three to score, and forced Alphonse Areola into a good save, but should have done better with a second-half chance. 6. Matheus Cunha, not at his best on his return to the team, the odd nice touch, but seemed a little lost in his role and didn't really threaten. 6. Joshua Zirkzee did well to force Wan-Bissaka into a goal line clearance in the first half, and his link-up play was outstanding at times with one brilliant pass to Mbeumo. 7. Lenny Yoro, unconvincing under one early high ball and clearly lacking a bit of confidence at the moment. 6. Patrick Dorgu, an enterprising run after replacing Dalot and will be pleased with his solid cameo. 6. Manuel Ugarte came on to see the game out and failed. 5. Mason Mount, not much time to make an impression. 6. Lisandro Martinez arrived late on. And A.
Ruben Amorim slams Man United flops in furious rant after West Ham lapse. Not good enough. Manchester United let an opportunity to move up the table slip on Thursday evening after being held by West Ham, and Red Devils fans were far from happy come the final whistle. Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim bemoaned a missed opportunity as his side let victory slip through their fingers vs West Ham. The Red Devils looked to be on their way to a second consecutive victory at Old Trafford on Thursday. Diogo Dalot had given United the lead in the second half, but West Ham penned their hosts back late on with Songo'o Magasa's first Premier League goal. The draw leaves United 8th in the Premier League table, having had an opportunity to go 5th before kickoff, and Amorim was left frustrated at his side not seeing the win through. He said, "The performance was not constant. We had good moments, and we lost control a little bit in the first half and a little bit in the second half after the goal. We should have closed the game when we scored the first one. The game was in control. We knew it. Let's defend far from the box. We knew set pieces would be a problem with the difference in height in the team, but we could do it. We could maintain the ball after the first goal, and again, we lost 2 points." Asked why his side were not able to see the victory over the line, Amorim claimed that his side were not committed enough in the challenge or in attempting to score goals. He added, "Just losing second balls. And when they kick the ball long, Mateus Fernandes running with the ball, they win the first ball and then Bowen was making the runs. You can't control that kind of game. We should be better with the ball after the first goal. We had a big opportunity with Cunha. We had the ball near the box, but the crosses were not good. Sometimes the players' characteristics inside the box are not good. They are not enough to score goals from that position. United will be aiming to get back to winning ways on Monday evening as they travel to struggling Wolves. Amorim has demanded his side to get back on track to ensure they do not lose any more ground on the top 4. He said, "Everything is important. Every game is important. We need to win the next one." Bid made. Man United in talks to sign £200,000 a week star in January. Manchester United have made an initial offer of around £30 million to sign Atletico Madrid midfielder Conor Gallagher in January, according to Fikayesh, is in which transfer windows they will arrive in. Manchester United have been linked with a number of players in the position, including Premier League trio Carlos Baleba, Elliot Anderson, and Adam Wharton. But it is another England international Ineos are said to have made the first move for ahead of the new year. Man United emerge as frontrunners to sign Gallagher. According to Fikayesh, United have emerged as the favourites to sign the former Chelsea midfielder after launching a £30 million offer for the 25-year-old. While it is unclear if Atletico are willing to accept the offer, the Spanish Giants want to recoup the majority of the €42 million fee they paid to bring the Englishman to Spain.
United's interest, confirmed by Give Me Sport senior reporter Fabrizio Romano in Gallagher, is no surprise, as Ruben Amorim searches for a new addition in the middle of the park who is dynamic, can press high, and contribute at both ends of the pitch. Gallagher meets all of those requirements, and it appears as though he is available in January, unlike Anderson, Baleba, or Wharton, unless Ineos are ready to pay big money. Why a deal for Gallagher is on the cards. Gallagher has never cemented a regular spot in Diego Simeone's 11 at Atletico, and that is one of the main reasons why a January exit is very possible for the midfielder. The 25-year-old knows his spot in Thomas Tuchel's England squad for the 2026 World Cup is very much in limbo, and he needs to be playing regular minutes to have a chance of being on the plane to North America. Of course, being back in Tuchel's sights at a Premier League club would be a bonus, but it needs to be the right club for a player with 6 goals and 6 assists in 70 games for Atleti. Amorim's recent purchases of Premier League proven players like Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo is also another tick in the box for Gallagher, who is reportedly open to a move to Old Trafford. Should the £200,000 a week player arrive at Old Trafford, he would be competing with the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, Manuel Ugarte, and Kobbie Mainoo for the 2 spots in Amorim's midfield. Are Ineos making the correct move? Unless United are about to cash in on Captain Fernandes or expecting to get significant money by selling Ugarte or Mainoo, a deal for Gallagher could be a no-brainer. The Red Devils' preference would probably be to sign 2 of Anderson, Baleba, and Wharton next summer, but that could prove impossible budget-wise, with all 3 being valued as £100 million players by their clubs. They are willing to break their club record transfer fee on a new midfielder, but doing that twice would be very ambitious. Gallagher would bring Premier League experience and quality at potentially a third of the price. And if he signs alongside a club record deal for another midfielder, it could be the best solution for Ineos and to please Amorim. United still need to find an agreement with Atletico, though, with the Spanish club ideally looking for a larger fee for the player, with developments expected over the next few weeks.
Man United handed Carlos Baleba transfer boost as £25 million replacement option identified. Manchester United have been linked with a move for Brighton star Carlos Baleba in the past few months, with a move still possible as the Seagulls are lining up a potential move for a replacement. Manchester United may have been handed a boost in their pursuit of Brighton midfielder Carlos Baleba, as the Seagulls have lined up a potential replacement for the 21-year-old, which may free him up for an exit. The Cameroonian international was linked with a move to Old Trafford back in the summer as a key target to help bolster the midfield ranks. In the end, United did not lodge an offer for Baleba, with the forward line and goalkeeping ranks strengthened instead, and at some cost. It meant that a midfield shakeup has been postponed for future transfer windows, with several targets emerging for the next few markets. The likes of Adam Wharton and Elliot Anderson have been linked as potential options, while reports persist over the interest in Baleba as a target for the coming months. While it remains to be seen if United could make an offer that would release him from Brighton, with valuations set in the £100 million region, their chances of landing the midfielder may well be boosted by the actions of the Seagulls in the market. According to The Telegraph, Brighton are showing an interest in Aston Villa's Lamre Bagard as part of a succession plan to replace Baleba in the near future. The 21-year-old is claimed to be valued at above £25 million, having made his way into the first team under Unai Emery, but with plenty of quality ahead of him in the current pecking order. Lamre Bagard is the nephew of Winston Bagard, who played for Chelsea and Barcelona during his playing days, and he will now be looking to forge his own career. With Brighton's potential move for the Villa midfielder, the knock-on effect could see them open to letting Baleba leave in the coming weeks and months. The report adds that the 21-year-old could leave for over £100 million, given the current market valuations for a young number 6 who can break up play and dictate things. That move could come at an important time for Man United, with Casemiro's contract coming to an end in 2026, while doubts remain over the futures of Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte. While Baleba could be the man to help deal with that position for years to come, Paul Scholes has his doubts, airing those when speaking to Sky Sports last month. He said, "Baleba is very young, but they're all quite young, aren't they? But Baleba is very young. Quality-wise, is he quite there? I think he's almost in a Caicedo type of way. He's done really well at Chelsea, don't get me wrong, but is that the type of player Manchester United need? I'm not sure. Adam Wharton is a really good player, but can he get around the pitch? Old Trafford is a big pitch. You need to have some physicality.
I'd say going off the England form, which has surprised me more than anything, but Elliot Anderson. I really liked him at Newcastle, but thought he was more of an attacking player, but he's come into as a number 8 for England and looked very accomplished. I'd probably say I'd go Wharton. I still don't think they're any of the Manchester United-style midfield players. They're more the style of football these days. I just think Wharton's got a little bit more quality. That's tough saying that. I think he's got more quality than Baleba.